Well, it's been a rough day. I had to throw up my hands on the other chassis. Burned up its board, went through a bunch of fields, found out my ohmmeter battery was low. I got the other ohmmeter and verified I had some bad armatures, found good armatures. Found a new well, not new, but new to this engine, a new chassis with the right center wheel. No traction tire, but we'll deal with that later. And I got it running, and it does have the smoke gear, so we can just put the smoke right on it. And put in new brushes, new springs, I had the fields I had on this one that was giving me fits. And it's running, I've got the fine tuning maxed out on the voltage and the fine coarse tuning on the voltage all the way down. So I got 2.8 at just under 0.6 amps. And it's turning, okay? It won't turn by itself, but it will start. So I'm guessing there's some break-in going on here with the fields and whatnot, for the brushes, I mean. But if I start cranking it up, I don't have to go far. There's 5.5, almost 6 volts. It's starting to hum, right? That growly thing is gone. It's just humming. These, all the axles were dry. It's amazing. I oiled them. They were rattly and made noise. I oiled them up, and they smoothed right out. It was really great. I had 3 hubs that the rim was off the insulator. What I do is I pull them apart with a screwdriver and I wipe them down in that groove with alcohol and a paper towel. And I clean out that white plastic as good as I can. And then I go each wheel. I spread the insulator away from the hub, and I put the gel super glue in there, and I with a tie wrap cut off so I can just handle it better like a little spatula, and I put that in that groove, and then I squeeze it together, and I'll put some spacers behind the wheel to force it out. I'll let that cure. I did the inner wheel, then I did the other side of the front wheel, and I got the wheels back on. Isn't that nice? And it's running pretty good. So it's worked its way up to 6 volts. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and a half, and 17.5, and we're at 0.9 amps, not even 1 amp. But now I can load it up, and I've done this with my hands before, and I can load it up to about 2 amps. But I'll tell you what, I'm struggling to do that. So I got a hunch it's going to be a pretty strong puller, even without the rims. You know what I like to do? I know this is terrible. I like Formula One, and I also saw some IMSA. The Corvette's got third. Take it down to about 6 volts, and then just crank it. And this one doesn't rip like some of the others would. And you know why? This is not a pull-more armature. I'm running out of pull-more armatures. I put them on everything. So I'm running out, so now I'm using non-pull-more, but they still pull. There's not a problem, but they're just not as rippy as that. It's okay. It's okay. You know, you got what you got, right? So, and I noticed one thing on the five digits are all pull-more. Do you know that? Pretty scary. We're gonna get a 5-digit Pacific in here in a day or two, and that's gonna be exciting, aren't we, Doug? Okay, so 15 volts, 0.8. We'll take it all day, right? Pulls like a train, right? Now I'm going to swap out this board for that board, and I'm going to move that tender over to this engine. I'm going to move that smoke over. I'm going to check that smoke piston because it's a 3D print. I think I'm losing air. I don't think my 3D print is as good as it should be. I'm going to go get a real one and try that out and see if the smoke is a little better than it was, okay? And then I'll be able to try to put the body back on and get it on the rails. And I don't know if I have time today. It's only 4:30. Yeah, we got time. Okay, gang, that's where it's at. A new chassis out of the junk drawer. I say junk drawer. I think a good train buddy gave me a box of chassis, and I think this is one that he gave me. And I'm sure he gave it to me because the rims were off of the insulators. They were probably shorting out, and it was just, people were dying. Plus, this one the grease was packed ancient. I had to really clean it. But you know what? You clean it, you put the rims back on, it's a runner. Okay, see you soon.